Witch Hunt is an indie horror themed hunting game developed by Andrei Vintsevich, or Gua, in 2018. I don't typically play indie horror games. I think the low budgetness of indie games are more scary than AAA ones. I'm not kidding. Usually, because of the lack of high budget professional animations, the characters look more sporadic and more twitchy and unnatural, which adds to the uneasiness. Also, most indie horror is running away from Spooky Man trying to touch you in the wrong places, and I'm not a fan of that. This one has guns in it! I saw Witch Hunt on OnlyPlays and thought it looks fun, so I bought it and saved it for Halloween. The graphics aren't anything special, but it's very atmospheric. It's dark, moody, and I want to leave these woods now, please, I'm scared. The game runs well, and there didn't seem to be any performance issues, so that's great. Witch Hunt is a hunting game, which means there's a lot of tracking involved. You can use Evil Sight to see what your target sees to narrow down its location. Most of the time it's not very helpful, since most of the map is just trees, so it's like, which damn tree is it? There's some unique landmarks that can help, but it's rare that the target ends up near them. The map also doesn't update itself when you discover a landmark, so you have to remember them by heart. Totem poles can be used to point you to the target's direction, but in the end, you still need to find it on your own. Tracking is a bit of a hassle if you don't have the right tools, and the tools cost quite a bit. I suggest buying the skill books that increase how much gold you get, like the hunting license and the merchant one, so you can get what you need. Combat is alright. The game has regular mobs that die in a couple hits and the main targets. They run at you when you get spotted and can kill you in a few hits. These fuckers are creepy. They're all twitchy and make weird noises, and there's one that crawl on the ground looking like some exorcist shit. After killing an enemy, you get some mana, and if you're lucky, some gold. Mana is needed for Evil Sight and saving, so it's really important to have at least some. You gotta be prepared for a lot of butt fucking. Pay attention to the sounds enemies make, and you can sense them from a mile away. There's one that can't be killed and they can jump scare you, so be careful of that. I wish aiming is a bit better. It's like a hybrid between hold and toggle, and that threw me off a bit. At least have the option to turn that off. Also, regular camera sensitivity and aiming sensitivity is different, which I don't like, but that could be a design decision to enhance the horror, I guess. There's a trader you can talk to in town to get skills and equipment. The whole loop of going out into the woods to find gold and then going back to town for upgrades to help with killing the main targets is fun. It's kinda like a simplified version of an extraction shooter. Like Tarkov, but good. Wait, who are you guys? Get out of here. Actually hunting the targets is a different story. Tracking takes a while if you don't have totems, and totems are expensive. I just walk around the map and explore, hoping to get near the fuckers and sound out the detection alarm, which also takes a lot of time. The best method I found for tracking is just to put silver crucifixes everywhere, which cost half as much as the totems, and wait for one of them to strike lightning on the target. I took down the Wolfman and most of the second last target's health this way. And when you get the upgrade for the crucifixes, is even better, so what's the point of totems? For the first and second last target, every time you hit them, they run away, so that's even more running around all over the place looking for them, or hope you can find enough gold to get more crucifixes. There's just way too much running around, which makes the game boring, and I wish there was an easier way for tracking. The tree, the witch, and the worm though is way better. They don't run away and are way more engaging to fight. They shoot shit at you and they're just stressful enough to get your heart pumping, feeling that fear in your balls tightening your anus. Overall, the combat is fun when the target isn't running away after every shot, but the tracking part needs some work. There's not much in terms of story here. You play as some guy whose family was killed by demons, so he's devoted to hunting them. You arrive at the town of Belleville to help the citizens with a demon problem. You pretty much just hunt one creature after another until it's done. After killing each target, Belleville becomes a bit more sinister. The priest healer gets dragged and some guy gets killed by a black goat in a barn house. A black goat? You know, the devil is usually represented by a goat. Is there a connection? Anyway, you hunt down a wolfman, and then go on to kill the sacrificial tree that's protecting the witch that's been causing trouble for Belleville, and then the witch herself. Then it turns out that she somehow fucked the devil, and you have to hunt down her child. After popping the child a few times, he goes into the lake and transforms into a giant worm. I don't see how, but okay, I'll accept it. Killing the worm ends the game. Belleville is safe and you're out of there. Look at that jank-ass horse animation. It's great. And that's Witch Hunt. It's short but fun. I beat it in around 5.5 hours. For $10, I think this is worth the Oh my god, it's the goat! The witch fucked the goat, dude! The goat is the devil, holy fuck!